Alright, so what's up? I'm doing I'm gonna lower this a bit. I'm doing a dev commentary on a run I did on Magic Black. Now, this game is still TBA, the beta is TBA, I'm still working on stuff. This is a good kind of shot because it shows where I am now, what I'm gonna fix on, what I can improve and everything, and like what it looks like, because otherwise you see dev stuff, and it looks like vaporware. Basically, everyone's like, where's the game? Where's the game? So the game is highly influenced by three types of games. It's influenced by Border Down, it's influenced by R-Type, and its clones, obviously. It's actually more influenced by, I want to say it's influenced a lot by Last Resort originally, and then it changed a bit. And it's also influenced by console-style shooters, Lords of Thunder, Battlemania, etc., in the system. So the game has, you see my shot meter, I've already built up full meter. That's how this mechanic works. So this game that increases your shot level. It also increases the number of hits you can take. This game is a one-life game, but you can get hit extends. So essentially, you get hit, you can use that hit to you get score and everything. It raises rank, but you don't build up your power with it. So it's a risk-reward type of system. And important also is that, see, these planes have orbs on them, right? If you get hit by it, every enemy has an orb. If you get hit by an orb, just like if you hit an enemy with an orb, it kills them instantly. When you get hit by an orb, it kills you instantly. And that's the part of the game is that you want to avoid. And if you get hit, like, you know, your shield will not pop up if you get hit by one of those orbs. So part of the direct challenge of the game that I'm trying to think of formation design is, how can I create waves where how do you want to use your tools? So it's a 4-button game. You can swap your orb around with the C button, as you can see. You fire with A. B chooses a beam, which is a metal black style beam. It even has a little like fade out. And then D is the support ship, which flat out destroys everything. It doesn't give any score, but it provides a score bonus. It's a percentage at the end of the level, based on how many things you killed. It's between like a ratio of like 0 to 1, and it fills up as you do it. So you can max it out, but there won't be a bar for it. It'd show you maxing out. Maybe there could be. I might think about that. Anyway, so far I've just talked to this first stage. There's not much to it. This first stage is an introduction. It's a warm-up. I like first stages to be warm-ups, routing warm-ups specifically. Border Downs like that. On the route I play Border Down, I think all routes are like that. I haven't played Green's probably just like an intro level, but Yellow and Red 1 in Border Down are both warm-up stages, and I like that kind of stage for a stage 1 because it gets you, it makes you use all of your tools and get used to it. So here's the first boss. This boss, and this is part of the big thing. So this game has a rank system in it, and the rank system is highly fluctuates. So when as you build up rank, bullet patterns, enemy formations, everything change in real time. So every boss has bosses don't have phases that gradually move into each other, right? There's a timer for milking. So the boss has a lot of like just custom stuff in every phase, and if you go over, then you use the timer to milk for score, and if you go over that timer, your rank decreases, or in black your power decreases too. And the push and pull of the rank system is supposed to be that, okay, there's sections that are really hard with high rank, and you want to avoid those. So you want to lower your rank via the support chip, which lowers your rank, or by being hit, which lowers your rank, but at the cost of, if you get hit, it lowers your power. And when enemies are spawned, their health is multiplied by your power. So if an enemy spawns in and you have max health and you get hit a bunch of times, or say a boss gets spawned in and you have max meter, and you spend a whole bunch of time trying to farm score, and you get hit a lot, and now you have like no extends left, you have no power. The boss has way more health than your power has, because its power was multiplied by your power rate. So you need to think about the idea of the game is you think about fluctuating, cycling between rank, power, and everything, using the extend system, like in Battle Manias and Strania are where I got this big guy. Strania is a huge influence on how the system initially started, and then Battle Mania influenced my thought about, okay, let's make it not an extend system technically, but there are ways to just lose the game flat out. Like in Battle Mania, even if you have lives, if you get caught on an obstacle in the screen edge, then you will still lose the game. It's game over. And I wanted something like that, so I thought, okay, well, I have the orb system. The orbs are incredibly powerful. You were being vaporized by the orb, and it was just like treated like an extended. I was like, that's not right. It's not really, like, doesn't make sense. So I wanted to make orbs more like that. So that's a big change here. Another big change is shot. Fire. There is a homing shot. I removed it for this because it's buggy, but you tap to fire. It's like I'm border down where it holds. Okay, so this is stage 2. Is supposed to be the first time orbs are really big, and you start thinking about how you use orbs to fight enemy formation. So you have these enemies that explode, but you can fire this guy with an orb, and you just kill all of them, and you get points and everything. And you notice, too, how the movement is in this. The way the orb moves up and down when you're in the front, and it's different than, and when the orb's in the back, it doesn't move at all. And I designed it around how it feels to play on a stick. When you float around on a stick, you see the orb will move, because that's like what it's like in like Last Resort, where the way you float around with the stick causes things to move, or with options in like Magical Chase or Cotton or something like that. You know, so it allows for like a use of fluid motion. See here in the back, I designed this pattern so that it takes advantage of, you know, the back thing. But you can also swap around. Like here, you can fight that enemy. That enemy has an orb in the front, and you can fire that, and he shoots out lasers that you can reflect. Or you can go from the back. You can use the ship. There's many every formation, at least as I try to, is designed to sort of have multiple ways of tackling it, and one might be better than the other depending on how you want to play the game. If you want to maximize score or something, maximize a certain thing, there might be a thing that's better. Like, I don't even know what's good. All I know is what works because for clearing, because I'm the designer, so I memorize the game, so I memorize clearing it. But there's so many possibilities with this system if I can get it right. So new kind of enemy. This is a tough formation to fully get. I've cleared it a few times, but it's hard to do because of how it works. With the orb in the middle, you gotta be careful. They have orbs on them too. You don't want to get vaporized, so you have to be very careful. And then here's a little. You know, a lot of the endings of the stages, they're still work in progress. There's a lot of like formation design I need to work on still. So this is a section that I might fill out, I might not, depending on rank. And there's a few more enemy times I'm gonna be making for rank 2. There's 2 more stages of this game that are not done yet. So I mean, there's plenty of time to work on all that. But I'm done with the first 3 stages. So here's our second boss. This is where, for me, the core identity of my bullet patterns comes out. So I'm going to explain something very interesting here that I wouldn't explain otherwise, because I normally wouldn't explain something about this, keep it a secret, but I think this is really interesting and nobody really does this. And since I'm making a video about it, no one can steal it from me without me referencing this video. Instead of creating the problem with the horizontal game is when you have landscapes and everything, you're not going to use big bullet patterns. See, this boss is awesome. I love this boss. This is such a cool idea to have. I mean, it's just a Nintendo boss, basically, kind of, if you think about it, but giant hands are cool. And hands holding orbs, I mean, that's a cool image. This boss is a counter shot, by the way. I'm not firing for a reason, because it has a counter shot there. So again, this pattern here, you see how this pattern works. It changes based on where you are on the screen. So the lower you are on the screen, because if you're playing around the hand, So your position on the screen for all of these bullets affects their curve, and that creates, I think, interesting patterns. So they're a lot of the shots that are aimed are not true aim shots; they're inferred aim shots. So they're not aimed at your body. Everything is sort of aimed in an area. Or I kind of designed the thing so that it was always aimed slightly off. So it wasn't about being aimed at you, but it was about aiming around you, so you move and you get hit. There's the counter shot. But there's all these kinds of... I love this idea of using these curves, and, you know, Pro Gear does this, but you don't see it in a lot of other Danmaku, and I think it's a shame. It's a really cool idea, and this is a free section to just use the sports ship, because I need to build up some sports core. And again, when I talk about the scoring, this is a milking section. So look, there's 55 seconds on the clock, and this section designed this is where you can get some health back. But as you increase rank, you see new waves form, and these curves are based on where you are. And every time you move to milk, you know, each bullet is going to be spawned with a different trajectory, right? And so the idea is that I want to challenge the player who's moving around by creating situations that take advantage of, where are they on the screen? What are they doing? And so in this next section, now the boss is homing moving, right? So in the first section they're just on the screen, but now look, they're kind of following you. So it adds an extra layer. Now you go too far to the top, you're trying to attack. Suddenly now you're up here, and now you're at a disadvantage on the screen technically because it's harder to move around. A little more. I'm gonna end this here because I'm not gonna milk too much longer. You could milk this boss for a long time. I'm gonna actually, this pattern in here is a work in progress. All the bosses are work in progress. They're gonna have a lot more patterns. They're gonna have like up to like, depending on the boss. If they fight a boss, I'll have 5 minutes. 5 minutes of unique patterns. There will be no repeat loops every phase, and it's not gonna be like a lot of like cave style games where, you know, you kill the phase. The phase ends based on like the health. No, the phase is a loop on their own. So you have to, if you go ahead, if you don't know what the next phase is going to be like, you're going to have some trouble. So it kind of challenges the player to learn the game, to learn the stuff and not just get through very fast, especially if they want score. If you just want to finish the game fast, you can. I'll show you a strategy up here. So this section, objects, I'm trying to telegraph them. It's a little hard with my system. I'm going to try to make them more obvious in more development. These lasers, okay, so I'm going to talk about these. This is the first section where the lasers appear. The lasers, I haven't coded it yet. I don't get hit by them, so it doesn't matter. But I haven't coded it yet. I just coded the orb stuff today. If you get hit by a laser, it's like getting hit by a orb. That's game over. So I'm trying to create varied challenges, taking advantage of the space. And you see there's these enemies now are appearing in different formations, more modified formations that challenge you. There's different bullet types appearing, different patterns. This one, I really like this one. So this is cool. So this is the show. I got this setup. I've never done this setup before. It's so hard to do this. So these guys, where their orb is, it's really hard to hit. And the pattern's really weird for their orb. So I grabbed this and I cleared like the entire screen, and that's so hard to do. That's like, you'd have to purely memorize it based on the position and everything, and it's a lot of also luck placement too. It's what I think is really cool about this idea. What I really want to make, and what I'm trying to make, is a game where the challenge is not necessarily in dodging, but more in perfecting your routing and really getting it out, like in a memorizer. This game's a memorizer. It's about perfecting your routing entirely, and it's not about I mean, because Danmaku is you memorize all the patterns that you're dodging, but like there's a lot of stuff in Danmaku that you can dodge like intuitively, or there's certain things you can do intuitively, but in a lot of memorizers, based on how formations work and how they're laid out, there's nothing intuitive about them. You have to just know, right? That's the thing about R-Type, is you just have to know what's happening in R-Type. You just have to know what's happening. And each of these waves, this wave will be a lot bigger. This is my idea, and I'm trying to figure out, like, I need to add a little more. Depending on your rank, more will appear again. So this is work in progress. This is luckily The beta should be out. The demo should be out soon. The beta demo should be out soon. I've mostly just been working on finalizing stuff, fine-tuning things, making everything function. There's still some stutter I'm trying to work with. It's all shader stuff that I'm trying to optimize still, and just some process stuff that I have to work on. But otherwise, oh, this is cool. This section, I designed this section, and I didn't even know really how to beat it yet. I've kind of like worked on it, and I was looking at it, I was like, there's multiple ways to tackle it, but I haven't found one that feels really like optimal. So, but I like the setup for it because it makes you move the screen around the screen a lot. Okay, this is a classic style of horizontal boss where you get the scope. It's an Iron-Hander, you know, it's in R-Type. This is where I love horizontal games with the scope. So again, these lasers, you gotta be careful with these lasers. They will kill you in one hit, and the orb will kill you in one hit. You're dancing around the space, and at high rank, these patterns are so fast you can't dodge this stuff. And the angles are set up so that you can't just sit there and absorb them with the orb, because there's multiple things happening. There's a counter shot going on here too, which I was wondering. And then here's the trick. So this is what the game. This is an exploit that I needed to confirm so I could confirm that it was real. You could just cheese this boss right now and just do that. Now, that could be a good exploit for just this boss, because depending on the boss, it might not matter. The answer to that is just adding in aim shots, or maybe an aimed laser, but that might be too strict, so it's hard to say. You know, we'll see what happens when the demo finally goes out. So here, this pattern is really cool. It's the same as the beginning pattern, but it's backwards. And it's actually easier to dodge backwards than it is in the original form. You still get hit. But you see how it is. So you would think that with this system of like the shield system that I've created, the Strania, it's like Strania mixed with, you know, a 16-bit game. It would be easy to just brute force your way through the game, right? But at the same time, if you just like brute force your way up and you're on stage 3 and you have like you have like 2 extents, you have 100 power, right? Well, what that means is that your shot power is low, and you got to remember that your rank is gonna be, it'll probably fluctuate. If you're using that shield a lot, it adds a lot to your rank. I made it so using the Strania shield option makes the game harder. So you want to balance it with the support ship and kind of fluctuate your rank, keep it at like the mean you want, but at higher rank you get more points. Points are multiplied based on your rank and everything too. So you know you have to be thinking about your routing. What do you want to do? Why do you want to do this? And if you just brute force your way to the game, you get to stage 3. Stage 3 is hard. Stage 3 requires, in my opinion, precise memorization. You have to know every single pattern, when the enemy's coming in, what's coming in. And when I add more enemies with higher rank, you're gonna have to know, like, well, what rank do I want to beat at? What's gonna show up with the rank? Stuff might come from behind now with new rank. Stuff might come from above. You never know. I mean, just the ending alone, that ending section, that's a weird trap. You know, you could get hit by any of these lasers. Those guys, I call them pill bugs. They who have like the little things that do the border down 3-shot thing. You know, they could hit you and do some damage, and then you get to the boss and you have like no power, and suddenly this boss starts throwing tons of bullets at you. We're like, oh shit, I should have saved power so I had some extends for this boss, because now I'm in trouble. And then there's 2 more stages in this game, and they're just gonna be like stage 3, but even more complicated. I just fucking farted. So you know. I think there's a good balance, because I like that. The thing about those games where I love 16-bit games and that design style, especially, you see it in Thunder Force games. In Thunder Force style, Lords of Thunder is the same way. You know, they throw a lot of enemies at you, and you know, they give you shields and stuff like that. But I mean, like, the enemy formations are nasty in those games, and they fill the screen. There's tons of stuff going on. That's what I love with the chaos. You know, whereas, you know, you watch like a replay of like Einhander or something, and it looks so easy because like they kill everything, and then you go play Einhander, and you're like, you're overwhelmed, you know. So it's I want to create. That's the kind of game I'm trying to make. So there's the place, and you get to see what I'm doing. It's not vaporware, and I'm not just posting random things at 3 a.m. You know, it's some stuff going on. So hopefully soon. I'm gonna say I want to get it out before the end of the year. I know I think my original date was October or something, or September, but it's you know, there's so much work to do to optimize the game. You should have seen it when it was stuttering like crazy, like in September. I'm still having issues, and I'm kind of like, at some point I'm just gonna be like, I'm gonna accept it. That's like the AAA gaming stutter, but I don't want it to be like that, because this game has a very fast movement. I based it on Harmful Park, and Harmful Park is a very fast movement. I like that kind of like snappiness of Cotton's kind of fast too. I don't like games with slow ships. And, you know, there's a lot of options. But anyway, so I'd say there's a lot of options the way to play the game. You can probably do no shoot runs just with the orb, the way the orb works. You know, just like I was watching the ZZX replay burners uploaded like the ZZX 1-all with only no shot, only the orb, and that's really cool. Originally, in my original build, I actually had a floating orb like R-Type, but then the way I wanted to make the game, I decided it wouldn't work based on how I'm using the screen space, so I got rid of that. But I always like the idea of shooting your orb out and having it do other stuff. That's why that game is so cool. So hopefully this gives some idea, more in-depth stuff than just me talking about mechanics in a vacuum.